Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Sun City in Arizona. Hope you're all having a super fantastic, sparkling start to your winning Wednesday. Should have had my pom-poms. Damn, they're just sitting right there. I'm going to bring the pom-poms on tonight, I think. I'm going to make a note to myself about that one. Anyway, it is Winning Wednesday. What wins are we celebrating this week? Remember, we have to celebrate the wins, even the small steps, because it helps keep us in that positive frame of mind. It keeps us in that forward momentum that we can go out there and we feel like we can conquer anything. And so I thought, what wins have we had in history today? So I went to the list and had a look, and of course there was two events out of the list that I came up with that are not wins, but we kind of do have to observe them, because it was on this day in 1865 that President Lincoln was assassinated, and it was on this day in 1912 that the RMS Titanic hit an iceberg at 11:40 p.m. off Newfoundland. They didn't actually sink until 2:27 a.m. in the morning on the 15th. So please, those are just two important things that happened today in history. Now, what were the wins that happened in history? And when you think about these wins, think of where those first, I consider these wins because look at what's happened since that day. Like in 1818, the US Medical Corps was formed. Think of what's happened with the US Medical Corps these days, how it has expanded. In 1828, the first dictionary by Noah Webster registered its copyright for publication. I mean, how many times do you go grab a Webster's dictionary? Okay, in England, it's in New Zealand, it was the Oxford. Here in the States, it's Webster's. But look at how far that's come. 1863, William Bullock patents the continuous roll printing press. I'm like, continuous roll printing press? And all I could think of was newspapers going along that roll. You think of the newspaper printing press. Look at how far that's come. In 1894, the first public showing of Thomas Edison's kinetoscope was done. And if you're trying kinetoscope, what's that? It's to do with moving pictures. Look how far that industry's come. 1902, J.C. Penney opened his first store called the Golden Rule Store. Look how far J.C. Penney's went. 1927, the first Volvo car premieres in Gothenburg, Sweden. Look how big that industry is today. And how big Volvo is today. In 1856, Ampex Corp demonstrates the first commercial videotape recorder. And I'm like thinking that was in 1956, and look how far we've come with how we record video today. Look at the technology and how it's evolved. In 1960, the record company Motown was founded by Berry Gordy Jr. Look how big Motown is today. These are just the first steps, the small steps. Somebody had an idea and took it and ran with it, and look at the impact it's had on the world today. And the last one I have written down is in 1981, the first space shuttle, Columbia 1, returned to Earth. And look what happened with the space shuttle program, and some of the things that they achieved, and what some of the things that we learned about space during that time as well. But think about all of these events that happened over time. This was the first day that this happened. And now you look years later, where has that program gone? What has happened with it? What impact have they had on the world? So when you are looking at your wins, look at those small steps. Was today the day you opened your business? Where have you gone? Look back at the day you started your business. Where is your business now from the day you started it? Look at how much growth you have done personally during that time. Look at how big your business has gotten. And you look at some of these accomplishments and think, oh my gosh, that was like the beginning of the movie industry. When you think of Thomas Edison's kinetoscope, that was moving pictures. When did the first moving picture come out? I honestly don't know that date. I should have looked it up. But think about, he invented the kinetoscope. Where would we be today had he not invented that? Would we still have moving pictures? Would they be in the form that they are today? Would it be something completely different? And then you had the guy that had the first commercial videotape recorder. If he hadn't come out with that idea at that time, would we be behind where we are now? So all of these things have their place in history, and they come at a time for a reason, because it's all part of a bigger picture. But look, that was the first thing, and now look where we're at. So think of those things. We started here. This was the first day this happened. And years later, look at where we've come. What's that industry like now? The first Volvo was shown today in Sweden on this day in, what did I say, 1927. And now look how big the company Volvo is. Look at the automobile industry as a whole, at how big that has gotten. They're huge wins, and we're celebrating those wins today. Yes, they may have taken place years ago, but we're celebrating them anyway because of the technology they have brought us, because of the impact they have had on our lives over time, how they've grown, the lessons that have been learned along the way that have been passed along to those coming behind so that they don't have to go and reinvent the wheel type of thing. Or maybe they did reinvent it, but in a completely different way. But they had a starting base because somebody had been there before them and had invented, like for example, the first commercial videotape recorder. How many different brands of videotape recorders did we get after that? Because somebody took their concept, broke it down, figured it out, and thought, oh, I can make this better. So took their idea and made it better, and then improved on it, and then it got improved on and improved on, and eventually, over the years, it went from videotapes to DVDs. Sorry, I did think what came from videotapes to DVDs to Blu-ray to live streaming. Think of how all of that stuff. But then you got to go back to the kinetoscope with the moving pictures and how that was probably the beginning of the whole movie industry coming through, and everything else is, oh, we can actually capture our plays that are on stage and turn them into movies. Ooh. So look at, so then you got to look back that far and and all the way through history. And then there'll be something in the kinetoscope that somebody invented a few years beforehand that Thomas Edison picked up and went, oh, I like that concept. Let me take that and develop it and make the kinetoscope. And then from there came, out of that would have come our movie cameras and all of that. So think about how, and then they had those really big movie cameras. Then it went down to one that's on the shoulder to now it's on a phone. They are making movies with phones these days. It's just amazing, the technology, where we've come from. So think about those wins. What are you doing today that could have an impact in years to come? I'll leave you with that thought. And also don't forget to go out, because it's Human Month, don't forget to go out and find some reason to laugh today. Make sure you find that time just to take a moment out of the day, watch a funny movie, read a funny comic strip. Do you have a favorite? Oh, do you have a favorite comic strip that you follow? Let us know in the comments below. I know there's things like Garfield and Calvin and Hobbes, and what was that one with the husband and wife, the Married Life or something? Brad used to like that one. Yeah, Brad would sit and read that one, and I think Calvin and Hobbes was the other one he would go and check out online every day, because we didn't get newspapers, so he would go online and get the cartoon strip of the day. But anyway, go find a reason to laugh today. Find a reason to celebrate the wins today, even if it's, look at how far you've come in your business. That's a win. That's a win. Anyway, go have a super fantastic sparkling day, and we'll catch you guys later today. Heck on